Do it.
Yep, totally right there. All
Oh
right.
yeah, now you're good.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, so welcome to the info session meeting for the NEIU DSC. My name is Carlos Degalato. I'm the new lead for the year. Kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about what we're going to be doing this year. If you're not an NEIU member, um, I'm about to post a link to a form in the chat. And if you would like to possibly become a part of the Discord, there's a little bit more private chat going on. You could just fill out the form, and we can see if we can get you in there. It's really kind of open to university members. So I mean, if we think that you really be an asset, we could have you guys be a part of that too. One second, I'm posting it. The link is right there in the chat. All right. For everybody else, thank you for joining. It's pretty cool. I think this might be the second year that Google's on campus. If I'm not mistaken, Antonio was the lead last year, and they did the plate beacon for NEIU. It was actually really cool. It was, they took like any excess food or whatnot that restaurants didn't use, and they created an app that connected them with like homeless shelters, so that they took the food and made stuff for people to eat that the restaurant couldn't really sell. So it kind of tackled a specific problem that was facing the community and figured out a solution using technology. And that's what they really spent the whole year focused on. They submitted it to the solution challenge. Google runs an annual solution challenge. I'll speak a little bit more about that in a second. But they submitted it to that. And yeah, I think it's really cool what Google's trying to do. They're trying to like bring developers together and just teach them, new technologies, and just try to solve problems, make a better world. And another thing is that they're also like trying to tackle interdisciplinary students as well, like, students that aren't tech students that might be able to probably take some of these things into their fields as well. If you're a biology major or something, you might be able to pick up some tools that you can develop an app possibly in the future, that uses biology. I mean, it's really not that hard to build apps. If you're really serious about it and you want to do it, you'll get there. But yeah, that's kind of just the gist of it. Google's affiliation with the university, it's an independent club. It's sponsored by Google. It's not really sponsored by NEIU. It's more of an affiliated thing. Google really just provides us with the resources that we're going to use, like for workshops and stuff. But yeah, so it's more of an independent thing. I had a meeting with the SLD. Me and Alex actually attended, and with the SLD at the NEIU, the Student Leadership Development Group. And I was listening to them talk about, becoming a registered club for the university, and there was a lot of limitations on it. I mean, it would make the club more, official, so to speak, but there is more limitations as to what you can and can't do, as far as meetups go, and there's a lot of loops that you need to go through. And I just feel like what we're doing right now, I mean, I would prefer a little bit more freedom to what we can do, um, as far as like what the university would restrict us. So I think we're going to move forward as a club, unofficially. So we don't really have to, do the things that official clubs would have to do, like appoint a treasurer or president, a vice president, and stuff like that. Um, so as far as the university's affiliation with Google, like I said, I think we're just going to keep it this year as, what it is already. If next year, if they want to try to register it as an official NEIU club, that's up to them. But, I think that this would be the better choice. If you guys have any other opinions, feel free to, leave them in the chat or email me or whatever about that. We could talk about it. Um, I want to talk about the university's importance of the DSC club at the university. I had a chance to be a little bit a part of it last year. I wasn't a member last year with Franny and Antonio, but I did get to see what they were doing, and it is really cool. It's really fun. I just wasn't able to contribute last semester, or at the last semester they were offering it. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I think somebody just muted their mic, so it just kind of threw me off. But anyways, I got to see what they were doing, and it was really cool. They brought developers together in a small space, and they tackled a problem. I think this year is going to be a little bit different as far as what the problems get tackled. They kind of change things up. I don't think we can, as a club, we can all work on one project. We're going to have to be split up, but yeah, it just really brought a lot of developers together, you know, I mean, and create or, you know, had them work together to build something. And, you know, that's kind of really all we're doing. And from what I experienced, I haven't been exposed to a lot of, you know, mobile app production, hands-on experience other than maybe an event-driven programming class that I had taken with Professor Tachaba. But other than that, like, I mean, this is giving you an outlet to, you know, do these kind of things on your spare time. If you have any free time, you know, you can go through these workshops, and that's exactly what I did. I went through the workshops, you know, and kind of just learned on my own, and was really passionate about mobile app development. That's really what I wanted to do. And this club really is focused on anything technology wise, but I think mobile app development is probably our best bet, because, you know, I mean, you could create our app, you know, we could create our solution on an app on the device, on our computer itself. We don't need any external, you know, electronics or anything like that. Other universities that have the DSC, they have, you know, engineering teams and, you know, clubs and stuff. So they probably have easier access to stuff like that. But at NEIU, we're going to utilize what we have. So we're probably going to keep it to that. On top of that, there is four other DSCs in Chicago. There's the it's U of I, NEIU, I believe Northwestern, and University of Technology, I believe, is the fourth one. But there's four of them. So NEIU, we're really lucky to be a part of this group. I think we really need to take advantage of it. Um, yeah. What else?
Carlos,
Yes.
I have a question. So
Yes.
you said that DSC is not officially registered with the university. What does that mean? Like,
So yeah, so if you go to the university's website and you go through like student leadership and stuff, you'll see, you know, like the fraternities and sororities that we have on campus. You'll see specific clubs that are on campus.
uh-huh,
And those, the ones that are posted on that website are officially recognized as, you know, university clubs.
uh-huh.
And in order to do that, you have to follow a strict set of guidelines in order to create that club and make it an official club. And it comes with, you know, benefits such as funding and, you know, being recognized as an official club by the university. But it does come with more limitations. And the funding, I don't feel like is a good exchange for the limitations that we would receive, because currently right now, due to the COVID situation, if we were an official club, we would be completely restricted from meeting in person. We could not hold any in-person meetings um, using the club's name. And I think that might be one hindrance that I really don't like. I'm, you know, I understand with the COVID situation, I'm pretty safe about it, but I also don't like the restriction that's put on us, just in case, you know, maybe a couple students are a little bit more comfortable about meeting in person about something, then, you know, we would run into a problem with that being an organized club. So uh,
What about now? Like, where are the fundings coming for the project, the upcoming project?
I mean, the funding, there really is not going to be funding. The development is just going to be done on our computers in our IDEs using emulators and simulators, creating, you know, apps using Flutter and Android Studio most likely. But I don't think we're going to really need funding for anything other than that.
Mm-hmm.
I try to put together something. I posted it in the leads group under in our Discord about potentially making some things like face masks and stuff with the developer club. And I actually sent it to the Google representative that's leading the developer club, you know, in North America. And I asked him if it was okay. And I ended up coming across some information that said that we can't use, you know, we can't sell any merchandise or anything like that. He hasn't responded back. So I don't know. I mean, he's most likely probably going to say, you know, that we can't do it in that way, at least to raise funds using that. But yeah, I really don't see any need for funding other than uh, I really don't see a need for funding. If you have any ideas that we potentially need funding for, I'm totally open for that. You know, I mean, if we need be, I spoke, we probably could look for a treasurer to handle stuff like that. Um, but yeah, if you really think that that's something we could talk about, I mean, I'm all for that. I really would like to like do things, you know, go places and stuff like that, and use funds for things like that. But it just, in the situation right now, I don't really know what we could do. So
Okay.
it, any other questions about like that about the?
Yeah, would you mind telling me again what is the link you sent for? What's that link for? The form?
The form, oh, the link I posted was mostly for the, because we have some students attending this info session right now that aren't NEIU students.
Oh,
They're actually from India. A lot of them are from India, and a lot of them seem to be coming from other, other countries on the other side of the world right now. And Africa, a huge continent. It's not a country, but I'm just saying that there's other students right now internationally viewing this, and I just want to let them know that if they do want to take part in our club, as far as private discussions go in Discord and stuff, that they could fill out that form, and I can probably reach out to them and speak to them individually, give a brief interview to see if they'd be right for the club. Because we don't want to just let everybody involved into that, because there's a lot. It's very personal right now what we got going on in Discord, as you know. A lot
yes,
a lot of students, mainly it's all students, so it's like I don't want to let people into a private network just as easily, that easily. So that's what that form is for. um,
okay.
you've already filled the form out though, so you're good.
Yes, yes, I do.
Yeah, so anybody else that's viewing this, you could click that link, fill out the form, and I'll reach out to you personally, and maybe we can talk about it, and see if you could be part of the DSC at NEIU. That'd be cool. But yeah. So as far as being a member of the DSC, what would be a benefit? I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that. As far as gaining new skills that you would use, as far as building apps and stuff. I mean, that's kind of obvious. We're going to be tackling other skills as well. Hopefully, not just building apps, but also like GitHub. Learning how to use VCS's version and control systems. We're going to try to incorporate all these little things to try to get a better understanding of what we're working with when we're dealing with these things. But like I said, it's for all technology, but we're going to be really just focused on mobile apps, because I feel like that's the quickest, easiest way to come up with a solution for something. I mean, it's not going to be easy, it's going to be fun, but it's low resource and we can all do it. um, you can download an emulator, as if you don't already develop stuff like that. You can download an emulator or a simulator, and you don't even need an external device. You can do it on your computer. If it's pretty fast, I mean, it'll run pretty well. There is some computers like laptops that might not be able to keep up with an emulator and the IDE, so you might need to use an external device. um, yes, give me, I'm sorry about that.
Do
So
you mind conducting a session for what are the prerequisites, like for programming, like what will be required? For example, you mentioned emulators, simulators, and all. So, which I am not aware of what all things to be downloaded or anything. So,
yeah, no, that's a really
people
good
who are
question.
not aware of what is going on, so it'll be helpful for them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's a really good question. Hold on 1 second. I expect that there is going to be some people that have zero programming experience here, um, that you're going to be completely unaware of it, and we don't want to scare those people away.
Correct.
We want those people to start from the beginning and work their way up to as further as they can take it this year. If they want to take it further on their own, they can. But in order to do that, I feel like I'm going to appoint specific tech leads to these individuals, because okay, so the Google, the solution challenge is it's at a maximum of 4 people per group, I believe. That's including if you put a tech lead in there. So I would say a three group team with a tech lead. And some of these teams are going to be, inexperienced. Some of these are going to be more experienced. And with the inexperienced ones, I'm going to figure out who works best with people, possibly maybe move some people around and see what works best. But we're going to start these groups off, from the beginning and teach them, we're going to have that tech lead responsible of teaching them how to set up their environments, how to do basic stuff, how to build basic apps, basically. And that's what they will be focused on. And if they can move up from that into another team, then maybe they can do that. But we're going to have the more experienced developers or programmers working on the cooler, I'm sorry, not to say cooler, but the more challenging apps, the apps that are going to take a little bit more time to build and stuff. And like I said, if the less experienced developers want to move into that, if they can handle it, we'll see. That maybe they can become a part of another group, another project that we're working on. But I don't exactly know how many projects we're going to have. It seems like right now at NEIU we have like 33 members in the club. So we're probably gonna have to divide it up, 7 different groups, at least right now. So we're gonna be working on a bunch of different projects. I also, on that note, I also want to like build like an outreach team as well as a projects team. The projects team would be focused on coming up with these ideas, and assigning these ideas to the groups. It'll only be a couple of us members, but if you want to be a part of that, let me know. Contact me, and we could definitely create a group for that. If you like coming up with ideas, and because I mean we're gonna need tons of them, and we're gonna have to sift through them to figure out what's doable, what's not doable, what we should really be focused on, and who should we assign to do these things. So if you want to do that, definitely get at me. Let me know. Um, yeah, and keep thinking my notes are on my notepad. I'm sorry, I'm putting them on my computer. Okay, so yeah. Also, another benefit because I'm still talking about the benefits of becoming a member. It's another benefit is being able to put it on your resume, your LinkedIn. You immediately become like part of this huge network of developers all around the world that are part of the DSC. You'll start to get more connections on LinkedIn because they see you're connected, and these people are bright. They're really bright students from all around the world. They're coming up with awesome solutions, and you got to imagine these are people with dedication, with initiative, just like you reached out to become a part of the club that some of you are interested in. So are these students. So these people are just as dedicated as you, and it's really cool to be a part of a larger community like that. I got to see that firsthand. Like I immediately got brought into this huge community of really passionate developers, and it's awesome. So I would suggest you take full advantage of that for sure. Network for sure, because these are the future leaders of the world. These are people that are going to be creating the solutions for sure. So take advantage of that. That's a huge benefit. um I would say another big benefit of being a member is helping out NEIU. I mean, if you're an NEIU student or an alumni graduate student, obviously, you have place in your heart for NEIU. I mean, at least I do. They helped me out. They taught me a lot of things. So it's like I also want to give back to the NEIU, the community. And excuse me, we're only in the second year of having the DSC on campus. This is, Google really does have their eye on us. Like they're paying attention. So if we really have a chance to kind of boost NEIU into the tech sphere a little bit more, then that'll help. I had one of the members reach out to me. She was a grad, and she said, that's great that NEIU is becoming bigger in the tech sphere. So I think that's great too. Like we definitely need to help contribute towards that. So for next year, build something better for next year. um Another benefit is like spare time productivity. Like that's kind of what helped me last summer. I had a lot of spare time. I've just used it towards dedicating, towards learning how to build mobile apps. And it was something I did. I was no longer bored. When I wanted to do something, I just turn to that and just build a little something, and it was fun. So I mean, that kind of helps. You can also build your portfolio doing this. I mean, you're gonna be working on projects, working on apps that you're gonna be entitled to share, and represent as your own, that you worked on as a team. So I mean, this is big. Like that's what employers look for, is your portfolio and stuff. What have you built? Not what you can build, but what have you built? So that's definitely a benefit of being part of this club. Uh, Having fun. I mean, that's obvious. I totally want this to be a fun experience. I'm all about having fun while you do things. Like, I don't want it to feel like it's, bearing you down or adding extra stress into your life. I want it to be more of a fun thing that, it's an outlet of fun, like something that you can do to create. I don't want it to be like a job. I want it to be something that we can go to work together, talk about anything. I mean, if you need help with anything, tech wise, at least, you could reach out, and maybe there's somebody in this club that'll be able to help you. So yeah, I don't know. Just have fun with it. I feel like don't be too serious about it, because that's really all I'm looking forward to. Um, Possibly mentoring later is another benefit. Hopefully we can remain part of this group, and just help out further students later on down the road. I mean, we all want help from more experienced developers. So this is another opportunity to eventually be a part of something that you can help out as well later on down the road. So I'm gonna move on to core members. Speak about core members. So DSC, they want us to appoint core team members aside from the DSC members in general. The core officers' duties are, they have a little bit higher responsibility than typical members. They're going to be your tech leads. They're going to be people in charge of, graphic design, market, outreach and stuff like that. So if you're interested in becoming a tech lead, if you really want to be bigger, than just a member, if you want to help lead, a group of, members and have some sort of responsibility, reach out to me. I'm totally open for that. We could talk about it and, we can see what you want to do. It isn't even, that I'm going to put you in one place. I'm totally willing to, because that's what Google wants us to do. They want to help you expand the things that you want to do. So, get at me and let me know. We can figure that out for sure. I spoke about the outreach team and the events team. Another thing is it's open recruitment all year round for the members. So if you know any friends or anything like that on campus that want to join the club later on, let them know. For sure they can join at any time. I'm also always going to be looking for core members. I mean, there's no limit, there's no limit to what we can do, what kind of titles we can give. So, I mean, just definitely figure it out. If you're dedicated enough, we can put you in a place. You can use that title on your resume. I mean, it'll look good. It'll help spice things up a little bit, take advantage of this for sure if you can. I can't stress that enough. Also looking for more non-CS students. If you have any friends that are doing any kind of other majors and stuff, talk about, like finance majors, accounting majors, bring them in. If they want to do something, they have an idea that they could be a part of the club and help in some way, totally, we're down for that. Just let us know.
Based machine software such as
What's that? What's that? Mattville, is that you? Mattville, can you mute your microphone, please? All right. One second, I'm trying to. All right, there we go. All right, so let's get back on track here. Thank you. All right, so we'll go back to, okay, I finished up talking about the core members. Like I said, if you want to be a part of the core team, let me know, and we could talk about that further. I also wanted to talk about what we'll be working on this year. The two platforms, like I said, we'll be using is Android and Flutter. Android, as you know, it's its own thing. You got iOS and Android. If you want to develop an Android studio that's Android native, we're going to be doing that. There's a lot of functions in Android, developing Android native, but it isn't iOS, so it is a challenge. Yeah, I got a chance to work last summer with an application I built in Android, and it was pretty cool using a lot of Google APIs and stuff. The other one we're going to be working with is Flutter. It's actually built, it's a framework, a UI framework that's built on top of Android Studio. So it's more of like user interface, but you could still build applications with it. Like it's a growing development tool for sure. It's actually my favorite. I really want to get into Flutter like big time. But the thing is, it's fairly new compared to Android. So the functions and, like being able to, hook up with APIs isn't at right where it should be as far as like with Android. But the cool thing about it is, though, it is cross-platform. So when you're developing in Flutter, you're creating, two separate platforms. You're creating it on Android as well as in iOS. So I mean, I had some of the members that said they would prefer iOS. Yeah, I would suggest using Flutter for that. We're gonna do that for sure. But it is a framework, so you still need Android Studio to build in Flutter. So if you want to use Flutter, I would suggest start with Android Studio. Android Studio, Android native typically is in Java. It's written in Java. It's also written in Kotlin as well. Kotlin's a really cool language. I kind of want to learn more about it. It's supposed to be similar in syntax to Java, but it's a lot faster as far as what you can build, what you can write with it. It's faster to code. I read a little bit about it. I could probably use some more information on it. But I mean, if you have some information on Kotlin, or if you would like to even teach a workshop on Kotlin, during this course of this year, that's totally cool too. I would like to know more. I would totally attend it. But yeah, so Android, based in Java. NEIU, we're really, we focus on Java. So I think, any students would be okay with working with Android. Flutter is programmed in Dart. It's different than Java. It's a different programming language, but it's not so hard to pick up. If you understand object-oriented programming, you'll be able to pick it up pretty quickly. It's really quick too to build an application. It's a lot of columns and rows, and you just images, text, you just throw them in there, and it's really quick to make something. So we're gonna have some projects in that too. But like I said, that's why we need to go over like a projects group so we could figure out, what platform we're going to use for these projects. If we have an app that it's an Uber clone, for instance, or something like that, then what should we build, what platform should we build on? It's another question that we're going to be using, but these are going to be the main two that we're working on. Yeah, I mean, if you have any other opinions or any other frameworks, platforms, or anything like that you want to use, let me know for sure. I mean, if there's enough people that want to do it, let me know, and we'll teach a workshop or something like that. You can lead that group of people if you want to do that. If you have a specific type thing that you have, definitely let me know. The emulator and the simulator for the device are for your computer to test on and stuff. I think it's called an emulator when you're using Windows. It's called a simulator when you're using iOS. I think in order to get the simulator, you have to use Xcode, or just Google Xcode, iOS simulator, and that'll probably, I mean, if you have any other problems like that, you can reach out for sure, and we can work together to figure it out. But yeah, that's how you're going to get started. If it slows down your laptop, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but you probably want to get an external device. If you use an external device, Android most likely. I use Android. I don't know how iOS works with external devices and testing on it, but I mean, maybe if you guys do, let me know. But I know with Android, you can use any Android device, a phone or a tablet. You just plug it in via USB, but you do have to go into the settings, and you need to click build model under your accessibility or your about settings on your phone. You click it like 8 times, and then after the 8th time, you open developer options. And when you get in developer options, you scroll down to USB debugging, and you enable it. And that's how you enable to be able to test on your device externally. Once you enable USB debugging, then you can definitely do that. And I prefer doing that on because I work on my laptop to do all my stuff, to be honest with you. And it's a pretty good laptop, but I mean, and it can handle an emulator, but sometimes I do prefer an external device just to see what it looks like in person. So I would suggest, and you can use your own phone too. I mean, you could just plug your phone right in and just test on it. Once you run the program, it'll pop up right there on your device. So if you're having any issues with getting an emulator or a simulator, you could use your phone. You can use another spare device you got laying around. But yeah, that's a gist of it. Also, what we'll be working on this year, hopefully, like I said, our Git skills. I really want to incorporate that a lot, because I don't really know enough about it. I know one of our other members, Saima, I don't know if she's here or not. She's a tech lead as well for the DSC. She knows a lot about Git. She's pretty knowledgeable of it. She could probably run a workshop on it. I'm gonna see if I could get her to do that. But if not, she at least has some information that'll help improve us for sure, because you need to use version control, I feel like, in the future. I mean, I haven't worked for any company or corporation, but I would assume that they all run on a centralized code base and stuff. So that's what the whole point of that stuff is for. So we're gonna hopefully use Git, learn how to run some commands on that, and just work on the same projects and stuff. I got a chance to work with it a little bit last summer, so this will give me another opportunity to get better at it for sure. Yeah, I think I already spoke about the project focus approach. Yeah, smaller teams. Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So you said it's a product-based approach. So whenever we working on a particular project, so do we really focus on UI or UX? Because you said it mostly application-based.
Yeah, I mean, UI is user interface, UX is user
Mhm.
experience, right? UX would be dealing with, um, I don't know too much about UX.
No, so what I meant to say is that the core team members that you mentioned about do really can be a UI UX designer who.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you could be anything, to be honest with you. If you could be an artist that sculpts, that's a sculptor that paints, and you could be a core man, a core member if you could lead a team, of other artists and sculptors that could help benefit maybe an app that we're building. We need somebody to build a physical model of it. I mean, it's really open to whatever. So if you're a UX developer, a UI developer, designer, then there's definitely a place for you. You could speak to me personally, and then we can figure out what it is that you want to do. What it is, how can we go about that? So it's totally open. Thank you. Um, so we'll continue. We'll go to we'll talk about a little bit about events. So with as a lead for Google DSC, they expect me to throw an event every 2 to 3 months, at least one event. It can be a workshop. It could be, it used to be meetups and, study jams and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we can't do that right now. I really wish we could. But we will still try to fill that up though, like I said, with workshops, online workshops, things that you can learn, maybe because like a lot of the workshops that they teach right now through Google and the resources that they have, the videos that they have, they do run through them a little bit fast. And even when I'm developing, I have to press pause and I have to, code what I need to do, work on it, and then, press play again and catch up. So sometimes, these workshops, I mean, I'm going to post them and you're going to be able to watch them at your own time and work, at your own time, but we're not working together. We're not building together. So I feel like, we're gonna try to incorporate a little bit more interactivity using Discord, screen sharing. I tried using a Zoom or like looking into Zoom screen sharing. You need like a paid membership. We're gonna use Discord to screen share. You can work together, pretty collaboratively like that. But yeah, so that's, I mean, I haven't really figured out, the 100% like, plan for it, how we're gonna do it, but I'm putting that together right now. Like I said, it's gonna be a combination of posted videos that you can go over at your own time, and then workshops where we're actually working together and going through problems together. Um, In-person meetups, I mean, I am not totally against in-person meetups. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, if you have a concern, a health concern, and uh, don't get me wrong, I totally am aware of the health concerns out there. My cousin actually just got out of the hospital for COVID. It's a distant cousin. I haven't seen her in years, so don't worry. But yeah, so I do understand the realness of it, but I also understand, the sometimes we could get together if you guys would like and have some sort of study jams, meetups. Definitely reach out. So in-person meetups aren't out of the picture, out of the question as a club. Most definitely we need to talk about it, and not everybody's comfortable with that. I understand. So that's just something to add out there as an event though, for possible events. We could have another possible event. We could have speakers come, like professionals in their fields. I can reach out to, I'm hoping to reach out to Google headquarters right here in Chicago and see if I could get somebody here to, um, do one of these info sessions or, one of these little workshops with us. I mean, and either way, like we're working through, virtual now. So it's like we can reach out to California or India, for instance, and have somebody speak on, a relevant topic, and it'd be pretty cool to hear them, hear what they have to say about it. So that's another event. Um, there is a hackathon. I believe there is like every university, hosts their own hackathon. Last year, NEIU had a hackathon. It was strictly towards the development of the app that they were building, so it was a mini competition, but it helped, the to build that what project they were working on. So hackathons for sure. We're gonna incorporate that somehow, some way. There's like a lot of resources that Google's offering us right now as far as like quick labs go and stuff. I'm gonna get into that in a second. But yeah, we're definitely gonna try to utilize what we can. I'm gonna try to make it as fun as possible for sure. Um, as far as the workshops go, like I'll go into a little bit more detail right here. The first workshop I'm going to start right now is on September 4th. Will be an environment setup workshop. It's to basically get you started. We're going to just work together, collaborate, We're going to get you set up with your environment, your Android Studio, get it downloaded properly. If you're having any issues, any red words, we're definitely going to try to get that figured out. But it's going to be to set it up for that, as well as if you're going to do Flutter, we're going to have that set up as well. So that's going to be our first workshop. I think it's going to be pretty easy. I'm new to this too, so I want to make it a nice little first experience where we can talk and work together. And that's a good first step. You can't develop without the proper environment, so you need to get that set up for sure. And sometimes you do run into some issues. You think it's just going to be you press install and it's instant, and it's not. There's things you need to set up for sure if you haven't done it before. And yeah, definitely speaking to the people that have no programming experience. It's not scary or anything like that, but I'm just saying that there is a lot of things that need to be put in place before you can even use the tools. And the more you do it, the more you get better at it. Our CS students understand it. They've set up IDEs before and stuff like that. And there is sometimes you run into some problems. We've all ran into that problem. So you're going to run into problems too, but it's cool because you're going to have people to help you work through that. And it seems a lot less daunting every time you have to do it, with a new technology or a new app or whatever, or a new platform, whatever you're using. But then you start to understand what you kind of have to do. So it's a good a good place to start. And I think it's definitely a good workshop to have, to make sure all our developers are at least on the same page, like we're ready to go. So that's happening. That's going to be conducted, like I said, via Zoom. So we're going to be using Zoom as like our main meeting grounds. I'm going to be broadcasting through Zoom, but then we're also going to be using Discord as well. We're going to be using Discord for screen share. So I'm going to be talking through Zoom, kind of keeping everything organized, but then we're also going to be working on the side as well in another window with our Discord, talking amongst each other, working through the problems and stuff. So I really would suggest you fill out that form if you want to be a part of the DSC, because I think
I have a question, Carlos.
Yes, of course.
Does Discord has a recording feature? Like Zoom?
That's a really good question, actually.
Because, yeah, I might miss that workshop on 4th. That's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to miss it.
Okay. I'll definitely look into that. Chris Williams, man, he's the man. Let me send a shout out. He couldn't make it today. He's actually he has some stuff going on this evening, but he's like the Discord champion, man. He knows everything. He's actually the one.
I'm just figuring out Discord. It's so confusing for me right now.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's super cool.
It's cool, but then once you understand, it's like
Right. Yeah. I have another class, actually. One of my classes, a philosophy class, is completely over Discord, and he seems to know what he's doing, Professor Gogan, and it's set up really cool. Like
really?
Yeah. It's a cool class. Interesting. It's the theory of knowledge. It's epistemology. It's a philosophy course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm a double major, actually. I major in computer science as well as philosophy.
Does now NEIU supports double major like that?
Yeah, you can dual major. One of the professors reached out to me really early on and convinced me it would be a good idea to dual major rather than taking one major and filling up, my time with electives and stuff when you can just get another major. So anyways, yeah, I did that, and philosophy is great. Look into it for sure. If you're into philosophy too, I can direct you to the proper people. And that's another thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That's another thing. I did want to incorporate some logic into this work in our workshops as well too, because logic is a subfield of philosophy. But we use logic all the time as programmers and developers.
Correct.
And I think just a brief course on overview of logic, just basic logic would be really helpful for us. And I'm super passionate about logic, so I think it'd be cool to add that in there.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as the question goes, I'm going to talk to Chris Williams and see what we can do as far as recording the Discord, and see if we could, figure out a workaround about that. Because you're right. You're going to be at work. And that's another thing I wanted to tackle too is people are busy. Not everybody has a chance to see these meetings when they're happening, like right now. So we're recording the meeting. You're going to be able, whoever's going to be able to come back, watch it. But that goes for other things as well. I'm somewhat busy, throughout the day as well too. So it's like, I understand what it's like to not have the time to do the things that you really want to do. So I want to try to make this so that you can also work, when you have the time to, get as accessible as possible. So we definitely need to figure out how to record those Discord situations. And if not, I can probably even screen share the whole thing on my computer, and you can just watch what's going on. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out though.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the workshops. Some of my tech leads are in here right now. Sharon's one of them. She's going to be helping organize the situations too, like helping organize these workshops. They might even be able to teach workshops if they like Sima, is skilled in Git. She's going to be able to teach, in GitHub or whatnot, teach a workshop on GitHub, hopefully, wink, wink. But yeah, as well, my other tech leads, if they're interested in stuff, they can, do their own thing too. They can help organize workshops. They can teach workshops on their own. They're going to be core members. They're going to they're going to have some responsibility as well. And I think that's what Google wants us to do as well. It's not just, for me to bear all responsibility. It's to hand down responsibility to help teach people how to work with teams, how to lead teams as well. Because it does take, a certain skill set to be able to keep, a small group of people focused and organized and enthusiastic for sure. So yeah, I would love to see people step up and be tech leads and, take some responsibility and, really move forward with it, and be serious about it because it'll help you, it'll absolutely help you. You'll see that in the future though, if you haven't already. The workshops, I talk about the pause and play, how I pause and play to kind of work through it. Don't feel bad if you have to do that because I do it too. They really move through it fast. So sometimes you have to do that. And we're going to see how we can get around that as far as other workshops go. Quick Labs, I was told a little bit about Quick Labs during the seminar through Google. It's kind of like an interactive thing to where it's like for workshops, it's going to be like to where we can work together through the workshops and stuff. We get tokens that give us like credits so we can work it because I think you have to pay for Quick Labs if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. If you're not like a part of, a club or you just don't have the credits for it. But yeah, so I'm going to look more into that and I'm going to get back to you, the members about that Quick Lab. So you could Google it if you want, maybe start, because I think you do have to start an account with Quick Labs. But we're going to have code jams. I put that down in my notes. I probably should have put more detail, but I think that's kind of just, that's something, actually, no, I don't know what that is. Code jams, it's a little bit more formal. It's through Google and stuff where they offer it, where I think Google representatives come out to the university or be a part of the speaking thing. And it's like, more formal. It's like an actual event where it's like, they're there to help you code and it's not accessible to all universities at the time. Like it's only certain universities can get this opportunity. So I think I had put that down, but I wanted to see if I could maybe get that for us. Maybe if we could have, Google Speaker work through a code jam with one of us. I'm going to look more into it and see what that's all about, but just know that's on the board. The solution challenge for sure. This is huge. This is like basically what we're going to be working on for the year. This is what we want to win. Like it's a competition that Google holds. It's an annual solution challenge where they pick the best solution. I mean, it's up to small developers and their groups to develop a solution to a problem facing the community. I mean, and it can be anything, anything. I have a couple ideas in mind. We can go over that a little bit later, but if you have any ideas of a problem that, can be solved using technology that's, plausible, definitely reach out. We want these bit added to the idea list, for sure in the project team so we can go through them. Because that would be super cool if we won, if we created like some mind-blowing application. It doesn't even have to be complicated. It could just tackle a problem, but there's people all over the world that take part in this challenge, and there's some really cool things that have been solved. Like I've seen one of them and I've used this example tons of times because I think it's the most like I don't know, it changed people's lives. It's like there was a part of the world, I think it was in India, where they had flood conditions that were like killing people and like damaging property. So they just, the DSC over there created an app that notified the residents when flood conditions were high or whatnot, so that they had plenty of time to evacuate and get their stuff out of there. And it's effective. It actually proven to be effective. And it's a simple app like that changed, people's lives for sure. NEIU's doing the plate beacon, it's changing the lives of like homeless people, being able to feed homeless people. And it's also helping with food waste. I mean, this is a really big problem that we have. There's tons of problems out there. I know you know that. So, I mean, we have no shortage of problems to find a solution for. So definitely take advantage. We're going to take advantage of that. It starts in January. That's when all that really information comes out. I'll know more about it in January, but I do want to get started as soon as possible. I would like to definitely get some projects going as soon as possible. Just so we hit the ground running. NEIU, as you know, isn't as big of a university as other universities. So we definitely have to utilize what we have, which is time, and, we could prepare and definitely get a head start on this. So whatever information I'm going to gather, I'm going to let you guys know. I'm also going to post in the Discord the demo day solution challenge from last year, and it's going to have like all the winners. I believe it's 5 or 10 winners from last year's competition. You can see some of the apps that they built and some of the things that they've created, and it's pretty cool stuff. I mean, we're going to be a part of that. I mean, super interesting, and yeah, solution challenge. Like I said, the 4-person max last year, they didn't have a maximum. So the whole club got to develop one app, the whole team of developers on one app, which is probably way better than, smaller groups. Way more development, but at the same time, it doesn't mean you can't create something cool, because like I said last year, I worked with the SCSC at NEIU, the Student Center for Science Engagement, and we had a 3-person group, and we created the app, using 3 people. So, I mean, we had 2 back-end guys and I was the front-end guy. So it's totally possible. I mean, you can create something with just a couple people, if not by yourself. So, I mean, don't let that, get you down there. There's only a 4-person max. We're going to definitely utilize it the best way we can. And now we can actually have many projects going on too. It's not just one big project. We can have multiple projects working on. So yeah, there is a max, unfortunately. Examples. Yeah, and basically, yeah, just bring me ideas. If you have any other ideas about what we could solve, what problems we could tackle, I'm open for them, and I actually would suggest that, and I wish you would do that, because I only have so many ideas right now, and yeah, we could use some more. The goal of the club is the final thing that I want to discuss. We're about to be here running in an hour. I don't want to make this too long. I don't want to make any of our workshops too long. I don't want to make anything too tedious. So we do want to keep things brief and to the point. But yeah, to finish it out, I just want to speak about the goal of the club. And it's, to teach students, our CS students, new tools, like people that are already, head of the game, we're developing, we're creating, we're programming, is to teach us more tools, because the school can only teach you the foundations, all these extra things. Once you get out of it, I'm sure the grad students understand that now, is that it's going to be on your own. You're going to have your company's stacks that you got to, you shouldn't be doing these things ahead of time. If you want to do mobile app development, you got to teach yourself, you got to learn these tools yourself. That's what's going to make you better, not sitting around waiting for somebody to direct you. So yeah, if you're interested in these tools in particular, for sure, take advantage, learn. Hopefully by the end of the year, you'll have, something to add to your portfolio. You can have much more skill. That's the most important thing, is the skill, for sure. I wouldn't say the most important thing, because the portfolio is pretty important to show what you've done. But you definitely, the more and more you do it, the more skill you'll build. And it's going to be rough at first. Even if you're a programmer, but you've never done mobile app development, it's going to be a little tough at first, but like everything, you're going to get right through it. Yeah, and also the non-CS students, it's to bring you guys into the tools that you didn't know were available, and to kind of like lighten the load between learning it all, because I mean, it's, especially if you're a non-CS major, you think that mobile app development or any development in particular is like way out of the ball field, and it's like, it's not true. It's a little bit more specialized. If you want to learn something, you don't have to know the full breadth. You don't need to know computer science theory to understand how to create a simple UI. And just starting off that would be great for you. I mean, because then it'll give you some confidence, and you can, like I said, take this possibly into another field. Not only that, but also too, like if you see that it is a little bit easier and the developer club is pretty cool, like, I mean, that you're part of something that you want to be a part of, or your friends want to be a part of. I mean, you can just bring them in, and they're going to, a biology major is probably going to listen to another biology major first about, an interesting club to join versus another CS major. So it's going to help expand as well. It doesn't just help you, expand into your field, but it also, brings people into technology as a whole that didn't experience it before. They can probably take that a little bit easier from you. So yeah, I mean, that's what we're trying to do here, is teach people that already know and bring people in so we can teach them more, because we're moving into the technological age. And I mean, you're crazy if you think we're not. And yeah, and the final goal is to utilize our small club to make an impact. Like I said, I mean, there's other universities that have hundreds of members in their DSC club, hundreds of members. So we're going to have to compete with them. I mean, not necessarily compete in that way, but as far as solution challenge go and stuff, we are going to have to compete with them, and we're going to have to utilize what we can as a club. I mean, and we have what we need. We have enough people. We have the resources we need to do what we can. I think we just need to definitely make an impact in whatever way we can. So I think building something impactful would probably be the best way. It'll help us get noticed as a tech, part. I mean, and the thing is with Chicago too, Chicago's becoming a tech hub. So it's like a huge tech hub. I mean, it might have always been a tech hub, but as far as like, modern technology and stuff, Chicago is blossoming. It's like the new Silicon Valley. People are looking for a place with better architecture, for just better living conditions and stuff, not so high living, rent, cost of living and stuff. And Chicago seems to be one of the places that these developers and tech places are going. So yeah, I mean, in order to help NEIU become a part of that, we do need to definitely make an impact in whatever way we can. So I'm going to leave with that, and I want to know, does anybody have any questions at all? All right. No questions. All right. Well, I'm going to end the meeting here. And I hope, like I said, if you want to be a part of the club, on a more private scale, then definitely check out the forum. All the other members, thanks for joining. Anybody who's watching this recording, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.